As your medical officer of health for Renfrew County and District, I'm here today with a very important message. My message today is about the vaccination rates in children, specifically the 5 to 11 age group, and the importance of keeping our schools open. You've heard a lot about how important it is to have our schools for education, for the children's social lives, so their parents can work. And we've had a slight delay, but we're hoping they'll open again next week. But when you look at our vaccination rates, only 40% of the children between the ages of 5 and 11 have been vaccinated. This is much lower than the provincial rate, and it's half the rate of those between the age of 12 and 19. We have a very positive 80%, a rate that we can be proud of, 80% in that group. Now, if we want to keep our schools open, if we want to keep them functioning, we want the kids to regain what they've lost with education, to see their friends, and if we want parents to be able to work, the best way to do this is to get everybody vaccinated. The 5 to 11 age group, a little bit left to be done in the 12 to 19 age group. And also we've noticed that adults between the ages of 20 and 40 have our lowest immunization rates in Renfrew County. And a lot of these folks are the parents of the 5 to 11-year-olds. So it's really a family matter. And again, as I said, we want the schools to be open, but the best way to protect the schools is to have high vaccination rates. The teachers are all now trying to get their boosters before next week. But on the other hand, we need to vaccinate the kids. Now, these vaccines are very safe. The 5 to 11 dose is 1/3 the dose of what we're giving for the teenage children, and they've seen very few problems. I was looking at data in the United States. By New Year's, they'd given 8 million doses, and they'd had something like 11 cases of heart problems only, and most of them had resolved or in fact were resolving. I'd say to you, it's probably more dangerous to drive to the hockey rink than it is to get a dose of the Pfizer vaccine, the mRNA vaccine for children between the age of 5 and 11. And the other thing we've noticed is before Christmas, we had lots of problems with school outbreaks. In other words, Delta and even worse later with Omicron spreads wildly in the class and within families at home. So what does that mean? That means it can jeopardize a given class or even a given school. Also, it can tie a family down from work, from play, from school. And we hope within the next few weeks that with the Omicron moving through, really the peak will be over, but we don't want a recurrence. And that again is why it's so important that we vaccinate as many people as we can. So on that note, I'd just like to say that this is a very safe vaccine. It's 1/3 the dose that it is for the 12 and over age group. And we've seen the evidence. I mean, if you have a vaccine, you're protected. If you get COVID, it's usually mild. If you have very few people going to hospitals, I think the rate is 1 in 11 people who go to hospitals. Your chance is 1 in 11 compared to someone who isn't vaccinated. And your chance of being in the ICU is 1 in 30. Now, we have seen kids getting sick. We have seen the Omicron variant tying families down. And just don't take the chances. As I said before, this vaccine is very safe and even safer for children in the 5 to 11-year-old age group. And it's time really to get as many kids as we can vaccinated. 40% is not an impressive rate. And also, if their family hasn't been vaccinated, to have them get vaccinated too. So again, as I said, what I started with is we want to keep everyone safe. We want to keep as many children back in school as we can. We don't want to tie families up with isolation and keep them off work. And the best way to do this is to get vaccinated, and specifically for the group that has the lowest numbers, that is the 5 to 11-year-old age group. Thank you.